welcome to part 6 of my Miraculous Redesign series, and this one's a long one, so buckle up. Today we are doing Queenbee, aka Chloe Bourgeois, aka the character who was gypped out of her redemption arc. I will seriously never get over them cutting her redemption arc because you could tell end of season 2, beginning of season 3, but mostly season 2, they were setting up a redemption arc for her throughout the season, but then they scrapped it and very likely just gave it to Zoe. Now, to be clear, I don't hate Zoe as a character. I think she wound up being built into very much her own character, but at the start, she very much gave the vibe of just a redeemed Chloe, but she has very much grown into her own character. But that does not mean that I am not going to slander her whenever I get the chance, because I will. Especially now considering the way her character might be going in season 6. Anyway, this isn't about her. This is about Chloe. And as long-term viewers are aware, I am more or less in the process of trying to rewrite Miraculous. And one thing that I am doing is actually giving Chloe her redemption arc, because I think she deserves it. However, that does mean the editing I have to do to the tail end of season 3 and then seasons 4 and 5 is massive, but I think I can make it work. Anyway, on to design stuff! Now, Queenbee's original design has been praised many times, and honestly, as it should be. It's a really good design. Black and yellow is always an excellent combination, and people have said it before, and I'm gonna rephrase it. The way the stripes on her outfit draw your eyes down and then back up is beautiful. But obviously, this is a redesign series. I had to do something new. Hence how we wound up with the design you see before you now. And I'm going to be fully honest, I can't fully remember how I came up with this design. I think my thought process was that I wanted it to somewhat match Rena Rouge, mostly for the purpose of making the team more cohesive, and then this just kind of spawned. And I don't fully know why, but something about it is just so very Chloe. I also really like it, and I hope you guys do as well. When it comes to color palette, I wanted to keep things roughly the same, but there were obviously things I changed. Example, I used more of a sunny golden yellow instead of the, and I checked, slightly more muted cool tone yellow that they used on her canon design. And then something that I find very ironic is that on her stripes, they used a deep, warm toned brown like I did here, and I think that mixed with the more cool tone yellow neutralized the entire palette, but also made it very washed out and muted. Again, I like her canon design, but it is kind of muted. The longer I look at it, the more muted it becomes. So yeah, I wound up making her design a lot warmer and sunnier as well. I also had to pay homage to the many redesigners that came before me and gave her the fluff around the neck, which I think that the honeycomb patterns on the boots and gloves along with the hair tie and zipper very much helped tie this whole design together. There is still about 2 minutes left of this video, so I want to switch gears for a minute and go back to talking about my rewrite. So I was rewatching the previous parts of this series just to see what I have and haven't talked about, and I haven't mentioned that I'm aging up the characters. Because if you didn't know, the characters are 13 for most of the series, 13, 14. And that's actually insane to me. Also, what do you mean the whole 5 seasons of the show takes place over the course of less than a year? So anyway, I am aging up the characters by about 2 to 3 years. They're 16 now, and the series is going to take place now over the course of about 2 years, with most of the cast being 18 by the end of it. I think that's also going to allow for more time in the world of character development and relationship development, because just about all of that goes pretty underdeveloped. Anyway, to round out this video, because it is technically meant to be about Chloe, I am considering changing her weapon, because notice how I didn't draw her with one here? Yeah, that's because I'm like very heavily thinking about changing it, but I'm not sure to what exactly. Like, the top is fine, but I think it's too similar to Ladybug's yo-yo, so the options are bow and arrow with the arrow that is summoned when she uses the paralyzation, and or like throwing stars, or like darts. Something she can like throw. I think that depending on the situation, they could all have their benefits. I just want her to be more of a long-range fighter, because so many of the characters as is are like very short and up-close ranged. So like, tell me which one you think would work better, because I'm very stuck. And actually, while you're in the comments telling me that, tell me what you think of the redesign.